Hello, my name is Daniel Yuck. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate your time and support. In today's video, I want to dive into a review and take a close-up look with you at this book that I created called Graffiti Writes Volume 1. I will leave my Amazon affiliate links and other affiliate links for you in the description below so you can check out this book and other books that I have created on your end. Should you have any questions about anything that you see throughout this video, I'm going to encourage you to drop a comment down below. I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring my bell, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube channel. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, let's get right on into this review. This is a book that I created called Graffiti Writes Volume 1. Me personally, I've been doing graffiti since as long as I can remember. It has to be about 15 years, 16 years or so, give or take, that I have been doing graffiti. Me personally, I've always loved graffiti from the moment that I started doing it. Something about the idea that we can take an agreed upon letter and turn it into something completely different. One of my favorite aspects about graffiti is how, again, we can take a letter and change it from its original form into something completely different that's better tailored to our creative wants and needs. That was something right off the bat that I was drawn into when it came to graffiti. Not only that, something about being able to use various colors and kind of approach it with no rules, so to speak, was what I was drawn into. There really isn't any rules to graffiti. There's nothing that says we can't form a letter to our creative wants and needs. I think that was what I was really drawn to with graffiti, that it really allowed us to express our artistic creativity through letters and words. This version of my graffiti workbook is going to be dedicated to graffiti writes. I am currently developing another graffiti book where I share with you how I go about graffiti bombing, but for now this one is going to be tailored to graffiti writes. So you can see that this is the workbook to learn how to do graffiti writes, hence Graffiti Writes Volume 1. Once again, I will leave my Amazon affiliate links for you in the description below so you can check out this book on your end. So Graffiti Writes Volume 1 offers a step-by-step format on how to complete each and every letter from A all the way through Z. It's not only in lowercase, it's also in uppercase. So within Graffiti Writes Volume 1, we will be guided in a step-by-step format on how to complete each and every single letter, so that way we can really get a feel of how different letters are created. From there, we can take our learnings and start applying them to new styles of letters and kind of really exploring our creative abilities. Let's take a closer look at the book full 360 here. So you can see that Graffiti Writes Volume 1 is with a glossy shine finish, something I'm in favor of. This is the cover right here. This is the spine. Graffiti Writes Volume 1 by Daniel Yuck. And this is the back right here. I want to show you a full 360 of this book, so that way by the end of this video you'll have a good understanding as to what you can expect from Graffiti Writes Volume 1. And this is the thickness of the book. That's a full 360 of Graffiti Writes Volume 1. Let's take a look at what's inside the book here. So this is the first page of Graffiti Writes right here. Here is another page, A through Z, upper and lowercase, and you can see this is the first letter. So this is letter A, and this is where we would essentially begin. What I would want to do is I'm going to grab a sheet of blank paper here, and I'm going to show you how to go about using this book, but you can see that we are guided in a step-by-step format here to complete the letter A. So you can see step 1 is telling us what to do. We move on to step 2, and it even gives us arrows to guide us each and every step of the way, along with notes and steps here, and a little bit of tips on what we can focus on and kind of to help us better our graffiti along the way. Each and every single page is like that, all the way from A through Z in upper and in lowercase. I want to demonstrate how we can go about using this book to learn how to do graffiti writes. So you can see I'm starting on the capital letter A, and I have a blank piece of paper right here. I'm just going to be using a simple pencil. Where I'm going to start is by following step 1. So step 1 says to start with one line with a slight curve to it. So you can see it's actually showing us we start from here and then we taper out. So step 1, we're just going to want to follow that. I'm going to come over here to this side and kind of repeat that process as the book is telling me. So you can see I'm starting with my line going straight down that way. And then step 2, create an upwards angled line crossing over the first line. So it's showing us from right here to right here. showing us the direction that we go in. I'm going to repeat that like so. Step 3, start from the corner and create a line whipping downwards. So if I go right here, just bring this down and then taper out. You get the idea? Step 4, create a line from the first 2 meeting points and whip out to the right. So it's showing us on step 4, arrows pointing from right here, and then we're going to whip that way. So I'm going to start right here and then just whip that way like so. Now we have the uppercase capital letter A. Now you can see right here for the notes as well, letter A is showing us for every single line and letter we are going to want to focus on the start and end points of our lines. The start has more pressure, so it will naturally be bolder. The ends will be tapered out with less pressure, so they will naturally be thinner. This rule of thumb will be used for every letter. So along the way, we are going to be greeted with notes like that, and also we're going to be greeted with some tips like this one. Focus on your pressure and tapers. You want your tails to be sharp and not round. So each and every single letter is going to help you through and kind of give you an idea of what we should be doing from the letter. And this process is what we would essentially repeat over and over and over until we get a good idea and we get comfortable with our motions that we're making and we're happy with the results of our graffiti writes. And again, it's going to be like this in capital and lowercase for every single letter. You can see here is a lowercase a. Then you go ahead and navigate on over to B. You can see here's a capital B. So it's going to be up to you. If you want to focus on capital letters first, and you can do all the capitals, and then you can do all the lower cases. It's really going to be up to you on how you want to approach it. But you would repeat the same process as I showed you with the letter A throughout the entire book. Again, until you gain that familiarity and comfortability with the letters that you're creating. Let's go ahead and do the letter B again. Or let's go ahead and do the letter B now. Step 1 says to start with one line with a slight curve to it, much like the letter A. So I'm going to move down here. Apply step 1. I'm going to move on to step 2. Create a round loop, bring it back around. We don't need to taper out the end. So if we take a look before we do the motions, the arrows are pointing this way. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a loop and bring it back around, but you can see that there's no taper like there is right here. So those little details are important. I'm going to go ahead and do that there. So you can see I did it right there. Step 3, create a line from the loop end and bring it out to the right. We don't need a taper out. So you can see step 3, we're going to bring the line coming down. So I'm just going to follow that like so. And then step 4, create the last line by starting from where we ended on step 3 and taper the new line we create out to the left. So you can see step 4, we're going to taper it that way. So I'm going to come back over here, like so. And then you can see this one also has notes and some tips right here. And again, every single page is going to be like that for you. So the notes for the letter B are a taper out or taper in is where our line does not begin at the desired line weight. Tapers typically have a sort of fade at the end of the tail. The way that I can explain to get my point across would be the beginning or end of a taper appears to look sharp. And as you can see right here, the ends right here, they do have a sort of sharp pointed look to them. Right here, and every other single letter that does have a taper out or a taper in, sometimes taper ins as well, start with a sharp look to them. That can be applied to both in and out. And over here, the tip on the B page is going to be when creating lines and letters, try to lock the wrist and use your shoulder, elbow, and body as opposed to using your wrist for more consistent motions and consistent results. So you get the idea. And again, I can't exhaust this enough. Every single page is going to be like that. Allow me to give you a quick skim through here. So you can see every single page has notes and steps all the way through. Every single letter is different as well. And at the end, over here, there are pages here that you can actually use to go over these letters to get a feel of how we should be moving to create graffiti writes. And keep in mind, this is just one of the many styles of graffiti writes that we can do. This is just volume 1. I will be doing more books about graffiti writes with various styles. This one was the first one that I decided to go with, so that way we can learn, and they're all going to be made in this step-by-step format. If you want to practice the letters in order as they come in the book, by all means feel free to do so. You can see here is a lowercase b. Let's kind of repeat that process one more time. So you can see, start with one line with a slight curve to it. Number 1, it's showing us pretty much the same approach as A and B. I'm going to move over here next to the uppercase V that I did, and I'm just going to follow those steps. Step 2, create another line with a slight curve towards up and right. No need to taper in or out, but you can. So it's going to be fully subjective. You can taper if you feel like you should, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow that step and then just bring it up like so. Step 3, create another line from the end of line 3. Bring it down and out to the right. No need to taper out. Like so. And don't worry about being perfect. What we're trying to do is build up a familiarity with how we should be moving to create graffiti writes. Create, and then this is going to be step 4. Create the last line by starting from where we ended on step 3 and taper the new line we create out to the left. So step 4 is going to go that way, like so. And you can see now we have a lowercase b. And again, this page also has a tip and some notes. Now, what's cool about this is we can choose to use these back pages right here to go over these and get that familiarity with the emotions, or we could just simply go over the letters that we're doing just to kind of get familiar with how this goes. And then you can kind of practice them on your papers until you're getting happy with the results. Once you gain an understanding and once you get a little bit more comfortable with the motions and locking your wrist and moving with your body, then you can begin to take a step up those stepping stones and try doing your letters in different ways that'll better suit your artistic wants and needs. When you pick up your copy of Graffiti Writes Volume 1, I would highly recommend to not write specifically in the book, but I would recommend to get a scratch sheet of paper as you see me doing here to practice the letters, so that way you can reuse Graffiti Writes Volume 1 over and over and over again until you're content and happy with the work that you're creating. That right there is Graffiti Writes Volume 1, which is now available on Amazon. I will leave my Amazon affiliate links for you in the description below or in a pinned comment so you can check out this book on your end. Once again, Graffiti Writes Volume 1 is a step-by-step workbook in upper and lowercase all the way from A through Z, showing you how to do graffiti writes in a step-by-step format. If you have any questions at all, I'm going to encourage you to drop a comment down below. I'm going to do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I will be bringing more videos and reviews like this for you all. I do also have social media under the same name as my YouTube channel. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, I appreciate your time and I thank you for tuning in. You have a great day.